Hi, my name is Tim Bradrick, and this is my code discussion for my capstone project, Milestone 11. Let's see here. Looking at my list of completion tasks for week 11, I did not accomplish everything, um, but I did get some major portions of it done. Um, there was one moderate size and one a couple minor things that I did not complete, but a couple of the other things I did get complete that were pretty significant. Plus one next week, I had discovered that one of the items that I needed to complete this week was partially dependent upon something I'm adding to the list next week, and that was a pretty significant part as well. So I will adjust my technical document to reflect that. Let's see here. The wardrobe. If you looked in my uh, game demonstration video, I added a section for the wardrobe and the inventory. I'm going to try to load that scene up. Um, this section right here. Um, there are a couple things that I have hidden, so I will just get them to reveal themselves here. Yeah, it's not showing up correctly. There we go. Got the wrong one selected. There we go. All right. This section right here, um, this was a pretty significant section that I needed to include. If I wanted to complete the store, I needed some functionality for selling items, moving items from the wardrobe to the inventory and so forth. And this section here, I needed to complete. This was the section that was on for next week. But again, to complete the store, I needed to get that done as well. Let's see, the code. What I basically did is it's a big scroll box, and that scroll box is controlled by the I button at the top, and I turned that off, and if there's other features in the scene already, I turn those off. That scroll box is created with this, and then there's just a list of buttons based on the inventory, and then that inventory is assigned up here. Let's see here. So there's the different sections. It's always in this particular one, it's the wardrobe. So there we go. There's a different section where it's assigned to the inventory, and basically I just made copies of the code and then customized it according to what I needed it to do in that particular scene. Here we have a section for the remove an item button, and it just checks to make sure that the body slot or the head slot or whatever is not already empty. If it's not empty, then it takes that item off of the squirrel and puts it into the inventory. And then here's a better description of all that. And then the wardrobe button has a specific action to take that and put it into the wardrobe list. Let's see here. Let's see here. Sort. It's yeah. I'm not finding it quickly here, so we'll take a look at the inventory. There we go. um, Basically, the buttons are checked if they're one of the remove buttons, it completes the activity and puts it into the inventory. And then if it's not a remove button, then it's obviously either a piece of clothing or a world item. And then the different actions, you could sell the item based on the type of action that was selected. You could transfer the item to the wardrobe, or you could use the item. And then down here I have some extra methods. Selling it is pretty simple. One of the things that I was challenged with the on GUI is the buttons themselves. I was tapping the sell or the buy button, and it would register multiple clicks or multiple taps all within one frame. So what I had to do is delay the execution into the update, which is made once per frame. So I've just basically assigned a flag, and then that flag actually does the buying and selling. Okay, and that's basically all that this does here. Transferring it, that was not a problem. That was pretty straightforward. You just add it to the list and remove it from the inventory list. Okay, and then the use an item, I have not yet implemented the donuts. That's what those there are there for, but the grapes and so forth. I have a individual method for each of the objects, and that's what this does. It checks to make sure that you don't have 7 health already. If you do have 7 health, it leaves the object in the world. The apple, it checks your facing, and then it drops an extra apple with the instantiate code there, and then it removes it from your inventory. And then the banana, it checks to make sure that you're not at full health. If you are, it leaves the object in the world. And then the clothing itself is completed here. It adds the item to the inventory list, and then puts the item on the squirrel, and then removes it from the previous list, and then it resorts the list there. Okay, and then the store itself is has some very similar code to it. Again, using a scroll box, and then the different actions. Here are the messages for when a certain type of item. Here are the objects. These are the head items. These are the body items, and then these are the shoes. And then in the future, I can take these messages and have them randomly generated. Here's where it checks to make sure that you have enough money. Let's see here. Yep, there we go. The comparison right there. It checks to see how many acorns you have, and the markup in the store is 2.5 times what it is for selling it. And then if you do have enough money, he thanks you. Okay, and those were some pretty significant features that I needed to accomplish together. Next, the timer in the adventure area. Okay. Basically, I had 2 flags, animated items, and the timer object. See if there we go, right there. There's basically each flag, and then there's a timer manager. If I scroll over here, and then each flag has its own code right there, and that's pretty simple, straightforward. In the timer manager, there are some static variables that the flags turn on and turn off, and basically when the player goes into a collider, it starts the timer, or on the other flag it stops the timer, and then it just basically goes through and either starts the timer, whether it's continuous, it's displaying it in the GUI section, and then it'll end the timer there. And then it calculates the time, basically taking time math and translating it into a string. And that's what this is. It divides the start time and the current time, and then divides by 60 for minutes, and then takes the difference, and what's left over is the seconds. And both are turned into integers, and then if either the numbers is less than 10, it appends a 0 at the beginning there, and then it just returns a text time as a string variable. All right, next, saving time. I'm saving the time info and saving the characters. That was quite a bit of a challenge, and I did not complete it, but I did write a lot of code for it. Basically, a few months ago, I had established a way to save the player, and I modeled this class on the class I used for saving the player information. However, this did not work. My app was constantly crashing. So basically, I just went into the code and commented out all the references to it. Basically, what I attempted to do is, let's see here. I took the pieces of information for the squirrel that I had already used, and I had added a couple additional items anticipating the need to use them. That's what these are down here. The position in the world on the X and Y axis. I'm anticipating adding a feature where when you enter in or exit out into the neighborhood area, he returns to a location near where that exit is. And then, of course, the time for the adventure. So I had added these, and then turned them into a serializable class down here at the bottom. I had attempted to record the wardrobe and inventory. I commented it out in the attempt of trying to get everything else to work, but I never did get to the point where I figured out what the problem was. So I had to comment out all these different things, and so that's one thing that I'm going to be needing to work on in the future. So I will be modifying my technical design document, and we'll see how we can proceed from this point. Thanks.